Hi, I'm Tatiana Whitlock, Director of Training with the Girl and a Gun, and today we're joined by Josh White, Texas Peace Officer and Tcole instructor for the state of Texas. Thank you for joining us, Josh.
Thank you for having me, Tatiana. It's always a pleasure.
So tell us a little bit about who you are and the type of work that you do.
So, I am the lead investigator for my department here as part of the Metroplex. But as part of that, years ago, I got into teaching firearms when I was in the military, and it just kind of continued on. So, I'm also the range master firearms instructor for my department, but I also teach regularly at the academy for the local police academy that a lot of the people and departments send their cadets to get them certified up to then hit the street. So been around firearms and teaching firearms for a number of years now, and I try to balance both of them. Being in investigations that keeps me busy, but on free time, working with firearms is always a love.
Now, you do some training for organizations. You've supported a Girl and a Gun for a number of years now, joining us at special events and offering training classes for our community at those events. And I know you do that for other groups as well. Tell us a little bit about the types of programs you offer, like you've offered to a Girl and a Gun, and what's involved in those subject matters.
So, in some of the programs that I do, I like to do basic or fundamental programs, getting people familiarized with their gear, their draw, speeding up their performance in reference to first round out of the gun on a target, getting good hits. I also start to delve off into the performance of it and making the gun run faster. It's basically using the tools. So I've done programs with handguns, rifles, shotguns for different agencies around here, as well as for a Girl and a Gun. But on the side, I also teach martial arts as I'm part of one of the schools here in the area. So I do empty hand stuff as well in reference to self defense and how to be able to defend yourself when you don't always have your firearm. Because unfortunately, some of the laws are the way they are, and you can't always be armed, but you can always be armed in your preparation with your mind and with your body to be able to defend yourself in that situation. So I offer programs from ranging from like a martial arts hand to hand self defense tactics to a handgun everywhere from day one gun out of the box all the way up to performance marksmanship on all those different weapon systems. And I try to be versatile in all of them because you'll always find somebody that is wanting to do something more and needing that help, but don't know where to go for it. And too many people get caught in that this guy said this or this guy said that, and I don't want them to be led down that wrong path. I would rather give them my takeaway from it and let them hear it from several people, so that way they get exactly what's best for them.
And on that subject, we have a huge number of new firearms owners that just joined the 2A community over the past few months in 2020. And there's a lot of information that they're just coming across the first time, and there's a lot of mistakes that they could be avoided with a little bit of knowledge right out of the gate. What is something that you see new firearms owners doing as a mistake, not necessarily a major safety mistake, but just an issue that you see arising? And what's a solution that you could offer for them for that?
So the main mistake that I see all the time is that somebody is very interested, and when you develop that drive or that motivation to go for it, you start putting forth the action. You go out, you seek purchasing a firearm and getting the equipment, and you go to a place where they've got a guy behind the counter that thinks that he is the tactic cool guy and has all the answers and has their own bias, whether 45 get the stopping power or 9 mil more rounds, whatever the case may be. And then they draw these individuals that are so excited into something and setting them up for failure. And it's not that people are doing it wrong intentionally because they're actively seeking it and they believe that this person who works behind the gun counter or has been around firearms, has the gun on their hip, is providing them valid information. And they're really not. And that is the hardest thing to see or watch because I'm looking at somebody and no one gun fits everybody, no one caliber fits everybody. It's got to be tailored to you and what's going to make you the best. And when people get sucked in on that, it's heartbreaking. And the easiest solution I can offer is, I love the camaraderie of a girl and a gun, and that's why when I got involved with a girl and a gun and was invited in, I was very honored with it because everybody has such a positive attitude and they'll listen. They'll listen to what's going on, and they'll take some from every subject matter expert that comes out there, and then they'll start to apply it. And I would say reaching out to people that are trustworthy in organizations like a girl and a gun to get some info prior to making such an investment in something that you are potentially going to depend your life on is going to be utmost priority and the easiest way to fix some of this stuff. Take the gun counter guy out of the equation and come to the organization that will actually promote you learning from the get go, as opposed to here's everything, now you should be John Wick.
Well, we certainly agree with you, and thank you for contributing to that knowledge base in the events that you join us at, and then in all of the other programs that you support our program and our members around the country with. So, thank you again for everything that you do professionally and to support us. And for those of you interested in joining Josh at a class at one of our events, check us out at agirlandagun.org. Thank you so much, Josh. We look forward to seeing you soon.
Thank you, Tatiana.